How's it going? So today, what was I going to do? Here we go. I was just going to read the New Zealand Herald, and I thought I'd share my thoughts on a couple of the subjects that I read. Haven't read it this morning, so this is how my brain typically goes when I read some of these stories. Okay? So, New Zealand Herald website, we get boring, John Campbell, boring. Okay. Warriors, sports, boring. Family batch, boring. China produces nanofiber, boring. The All Blacks, boring. Well-known Kiwi sex worker abused after something, boring. Aussie pair lose 1 billion in one day, boring. Cop wins 11,000, boring. Come on, man. Boring. Okay. This might have been better if I just read through it. Right, here we go. What's this one? Oh, here's one for all the how to lose 5 kilos by summer, according to a nutritionalist. This will be riveting. Go strict for a few days. A few days of especially low calorie eating via soups, salads, and shakes is an easy way to reduce calorie intake and drop a few kilos on the scales quickly. Weight loss studies have repeatedly shown that losing a good amount of weight quickly, initially on a weight loss program, predicts long-term adherence and success. Well, that's not true. I mean, really? That's rocket science. Reduce what I eat and I will lose weight. I don't think we needed a study to show that. Maybe we did. And then, so based on that report, predicts long-term success. Well, that doesn't make sense either, because there's more people doing the lose weight quickly and then they eat again what they used to eat. Okay. Nothing there. Here's one. Donald Trump. Donald Trump calls on his spies to listen in. See, Trump's an interesting one, right? It's like, he's like, I was listening to Barack Obama, right, doing a rally for the next presidential vote and stuff. And it seems to me that they seem to think, or they're using the angle that there wasn't enough voters, people didn't vote, that's why Donald Trump won. Or one of the reasons and one of their strategies. And you know, that doesn't make sense, right? Because people didn't vote. That's why Donald Trump won. And he doesn't want you to vote, so that way he wins again. Well, that's not true. Because of the people that did vote, they voted for this one, or the majority voted for that. So now let's say you decide in your campaign is to get more people to vote. Well, more people vote, that doesn't mean you win. So if you want to be honest about it, and the truth about it is you want more people to vote for you, right? So you don't want more people to vote. You just want people to vote for you. You know, the people that do vote for you. Wouldn't that be the better strategy? Oh, but no. You guys have got, if you guys want your, you know, your human rights and if you want to create change, well, it kind of did create change, right? You had 8 years with you in office, and then you left. You can't run 3 times, right? And then people are upset with the next president. But democracy worked where the majority voted for that person. I would have thought a better strategy would have been to have someone good run for presidency from your party. It seemed to me that Hillary Clinton wasn't that popular. Isn't that the way to look at it? So if you go back a bit, could have says, well, why don't we get a better candidate and develop that over the term that we were in? No. Just say you guys didn't vote, so that's why we lost. That seems illogical too. So what else can we talk about? The news ain't really happening. What's the time? 6:30. As you see, I've got my gym gear on. I'm actually just waiting for my iWatch to charge. Right, can't go to the gym without my watch or my iPhone. I got the iPhone. What is it? The iPhone XS Max. I'll let you on a secret here. I'm not really an emotional person, right? You know, when babies are born, everyone's like, oh, the baby thing. Me, hey, it's just a baby, right? There's lots of them. Quite a few billion, apparently. So it's hardly rare. You know what I mean? So that doesn't do it for me. already told you about my view on anniversaries and birthdays and Christmases and all that. So, hey, not a big deal. But this thing, I don't know. I kind of almost got what people get when they view a so-called miracle or a something that overcomes them emotionally and feelings-wise. And what's a cool story about this? I didn't even pay for it, right? Which would have diminished it a little bit because I'm stingy and I don't like spending money, right? So work, somehow I tell work that I need this, right? This is a need, not a want. I need a phone. This came out, kind of the other ones. No way, gotta have this one. I got the iWatch, I got the other stuff, right? It'd be crazy to have the other iPhone models. Has to be this one. iPhone XS Max. Because the 10s came out last year. Me and my high intelligence looked at that and went, hey, that 10, that's not as big as my 10, my iPhone something plus. Surely they're going to bring out a bigger model. And I looked at the 10 and think, the wireless charging, the Face ID stuff. Yeah, that's the stuff I want. Still not big enough. Surely they're going to bring one out. So I waited 12 months. It comes out. And man. So work says, yep, we'll get it to you. Boom. I get signed off. Where is it? It's on waiting, you know, the old, what do you call it? Wait for it to come for 10 days or some bloody thing. Those whole 10 days. Life's great. Waiting. Where is it? And even then, before that, my previous iPhone, hated it. Up to then, loved my iPhone. It's great. Previous model. As soon as I knew this was coming, I'd be looking at my phone. This is rubbish. I put up with this, you know. Then it came to work in its box. So I even told the staff around me, you know, here's the box. Look at this, and they all stood around while I opened it because I didn't tell them what I got because I've all got the normal $300 phones, right? So it's a plain box. So I strip it, open it up, and I looked at it. Wow, it's shinier than my last one. Beautiful. It was pretty good too, right? Had it all converted over, had it all up and running in about 5 minutes. So no, that's as close as you can feel of having a newborn child. It's the same. So what else was there on my mind while I wait for my watch? What's the wife been doing lately? She's been annoying, to be honest. What happens to me last night? Come home, cruising around. So I have a bit of an eating plan, right? Whereas people don't. Okay, I'll tell you. So 3.5 years ago, I weighed 123 kilos. That's a fact. That's true. I weighed myself. So I might have weighed more at some stage, but anyway. that was the weight that was on the scales at the end. And I was, in my opinion, happy as. Life was pretty good. Cruising along, doing what I'm doing. Upsetting people, saying what I want to say, all that sort of stuff, right? Quite bulletproof in lots of respects. I wouldn't say I was fat and obese, but if you read the charts that are out there, which I obviously wouldn't like reading, I'm about 6'3" or around there, right? And you look at the 6'3" chart, and it says the average weight, or a reasonable weight for a 6'3", 6 foot guy, male. I think it's something like 95 kilos or something, or 92, or 90, or actually I don't really know. I can't remember. I think it's around the 89s, 90s, somewhere in that sort of range, right? Depending on how your physique is, I guess. So not 121 or 22, put it that way. So the chart goes moderate, you know, so here's the 90s or the 80s, and then you up and down between it, and then you up here is the 120s. All right. So something's not making sense there. Well, I ignore that bit, right? And then you get, so they get the 120. What I do, yeah, but I'm big. I'm the bigSHow. It's true. You were fucking big. Got it. So you know, there was that bit. But that's, so me, I'm cruising along. Everything's pretty good, in my opinion. And then, so what happened to me? I think I was trying to focus on changing and improvements. And I have a way of sort of transferring what goes on. So 3 years ago, I do the whole, so started looking at my habits, you know. I didn't really realize how come. I think it started from other events. So one event is my job changed. So the job I had, I was earning this much, and then I kind of like almost doubled my salary. Yeah. Earned more, earning this much, then earning that much. So earning that much, then earning that much, like overnight. So that was a bit of a change. And I thought to myself for that event, I thought, well, you know, it's an opportunity. Let's not freaking waste the money. And I was saving money, earning that much, you know, percentage of it, but not huge amounts, right? So a percentage of that thing. Then when I doubled the salary overnight, I thought to myself, well, hold on. I should be able to save that whole thing on top of the saving I'm already doing from this much. So now I should be able to save that much. And nothing will change. Because if I'm so happy and everything's fine, then let's just get the money. Right? Wow. That's something to do. So we did that. So in doing that, stayed the same. Had a trajectory of path. Perfect. Then what happened from that caused like a whole chain of events from there, which was about 3 years ago. So that started happening. Even the wife, right? She starts earning more money. So she joins in. So that got even more. Nice. Nothing else changed. Didn't do too much. Bought a fridge, I think. Sweet. So we carry on. So then I transfer some of that into like, okay, what else can I do? So then we get back to the money thing. So then I start tracking the percentage we're using. I start going, well, if that reduced, that would add to this pile. Okay, let's have a look at that. Wow, it works out I was eating a lot. Who would have thought, right? 120 kilos and freaking eating everything. Yeah. Because why not? You know, cruise along, eat that, eat some of that. So then I go, okay, well, you know, I was working out and playing a bit of sport and stuff. Well, that's not really helping that, is it? It doesn't make sense. So here we go. So start looking at those habits. And it took me a bit. So the money thing happened first. That was fine. Carries on, new job, doing that sort of stuff. Then I start shifting that focus over to here and creating goals with the money. That happens. Then I go, well, why not use the same system on me? Health. Okay, let's look at that. So then it goes the health side, what I was doing. So me and my son used to drive around. I used to take him to work as well, right? Some of us, we used to go to the gym in the mornings. 120 kilos, mate. You know, go to the gym, lift lots of weights. That's all you do in the day. Life's great. So I start going, well, but you know, if I cut down the food and do the same weights, it's got to be better. Sweet. Can't be hard. Well, it freaking was hard. You know, and like, man, my food, one example would be driving home, didn't matter what time of day, cruising along. I could pull into the dairy, right? Pull into the dairy and eat something. Not going to the bakery, not going to those things. Dairy, what's in the dairy? Well, biscuits, 2 packets for $5 or something. So I get a packet of Chit Chats or Toffee Pops and a packet of Shrewsbury's or whichever. 2 packets of biscuits. A thing of fruit juice. That's very healthy, right? Fruit juice. Fruit juice, 2 packets of biscuits. And while I'm standing there ordering those, I look around. Oh, grab me a packet of these, couple of packets of these lolly things. Whichever, right? Into the car, open it up, and eat those. And I can eat a packet, a whole packet, before I've got driven 4 or 5 minutes. The packet's gone. Isn't that awesome? Man, I love those chocolate biscuits too. So I can eat that. I might leave one, right? If I left one, start feeling it like a bit full. And by the time I said it to myself that I'm a bit full, I grab that last one and eat it. Force it down. No worries. And then I drive a bit further, gather myself, crack open the lollies, or get the fruit juice, wash it down some more, grab some handful of lollies, eat those, go along a bit further, open the other packet. Some days I'd mix and match the packets, right? So some days I'd open both packets. eat 3 of those ones. I have all the same. Then eat 2 of the other ones. Then go back to the other one. Oh, those were the good old days. So anyway, that kept me maintained at that sort of size, right? So I go for a while of really focusing. Gotta change that. Can't do that. Drive past the dairy. Some days was easier. Other days, man, pop in my mind. Want to go to the dairy. Gotta go to the dairy. Don't go. Carry on. Freaking miserable. Life's miserable, right? And carry on, right? And then sure enough, sooner or later, I'd grab something else. What was one of them? Oh, I grabbed those Mars bar pods, packet of those things. I was still eating bits of it, right? And quite slowly started creeping up. And so nothing really happened. You know, no change. So this is dwelling on my mind, actually, because now I'm realizing it's still going on, still happening. And what probably keeps me the best on this is my money. The money that we were earning was growing. It's going, wow, that's growing thing right here. I'm not changing here. It doesn't make sense. You should be able to do both ways, right? You do this. So I got those Mars bars pods in the car, eating them. Mate, eat the lot, no problem. So one day, well, not one day, while this is going on, I mean, my son, I'm dropping him off at work, and he's trying to do a similar thing. He's trying to cut back on stuff, change a little bit. So, you know, hey man, I've got the advice. Chop out that crap. Can't be hard. Yeah. Because he likes the stuff too, right? So anyway, he's trying to do it, and then here I am being a hypocrite. Well, I work out it's a hypocrite statement now. So that hurts, right? Rather not be a hypocrite, even though I probably can't avoid it that often. It doesn't, it's kind of in my face, being a hypocrite to this level. So anyway, he hops in the car one day, and I've got a packet of Mars things in there. He sits there, and I don't think he had some, but and I look at it and I go, see, why do I have this? What's going on here? So that hurts. So I get kind of like a few glaringly obvious things. So then I work out to myself a plan. And because I think I know myself reasonably well, that my brain works in this kind of fashion, I says, well, what's the tool that might work for me? So I'm a math guy. I use maths. And I go, so what does the body need? We go, yeah, we need a couple of things. So we got that. Biscuits, lollies, chips, ice cream. A need. Is that part of that system? No. They're not necessary at all. You know, we can debate food groups, right? Like fruit, vegetables, even meats. Meat can be debatable. It's probably one thing, but the other two kind of there. Plants, plant life, and then meat. Still debate that, right? Vegetarianism thing, you can probably get most of it, but let's just go those 2, 3, and water, and that's it, right? Biscuits and chocolates and thing wasn't amongst that list. So then I go, right, okay, so I use that. That's the knowledge I got, and then we got the math. The math says ice cream. And what's how much ice cream does the body need? 0, it works out. Not a scoop every month or every 6 months or every once a year. Does you need an ice cream? Chocolate biscuits, not necessary. Potato chips, not necessary. It's like, wow. Okay, so we'll do 0. Ouch. 0. I tell you, man, I went through like, it took me about a week. 0. Like 0. 0. So it was November. It's in my calendar. I wrote it down. I made that decision. And I said, okay, let's do 0. 0 of, let's start with that. I call it like this. Let's just go 0 on those kind of food groups. So 0 takeaways. Fast foods was considered one. Gone. Didn't really have that too much anyways. That wasn't too hard. I wasn't big on McDonald's and Burger Kings and all that. Didn't do it too much, like once a week or when the wife didn't cook, you know. So that was reasonably easy. Then it was ice cream, biscuits, cake, chocolates, chocolate biscuit, chocolate anything, fruit juice, basically any liquid except for water. It works out because none of them were, no Coke Zero. I didn't really drink the fizzy drinks, but I had ginger beers, right? I used to drink those. So chop that out. So it's basically sugar-free kind of style, right? But 0, and using that as that's your markers of 0. So we go 0. So we go 0 on November, and I suffer through that month, and I went 121 to 110, I think. Yeah, 110. So it's, you know, we're in the 110s, 109s. You know, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks. Back to what that chart said, right? Drastic loss. Actually, here we go. So there we go, 10 kilos gone. Bit of a difference, but I didn't physically see too much myself at that point. But that's fine. Keep moving. 10 kilos gone. So that's the catalyst. So now I'm suffering through that, and whew, tough. And something about me is that the longer it went on, the more I wanted to stick to it. Because I generally tell people this, right? And they're like, far out, you're nuts. You know, you can't do that. You can't do that. You're nuts. And I was going, wow, I must be onto something. Because I kind of prefer where people say to me that that's freaking stupid or that's nuts. Then I seem to want to keep doing it. So that works out good, right? So there you go. Can we carry on? So I think it may be the first, I get to like Christmas, I'm going through these journeys here and there. I'm sticking to it. Fuck it. Like almost religiously sticking to it in that sense. So I get down to about, after a while, I get down to about 108, 107 kind of kilos, right? 108, kind of 7 kilos. And doing similar things, not too much else has changed. And then I'm starting to stay the same. And I'm on the 3, so my diet ends up being eat a bit of breakfast, real basic, bit of cereal, bit of protein shake, and then lunch is whatever is basic. I make my lunch, so it'll be a pasta or something like that, and then dinner, whatever the wife makes, and cut the rest out. Just stay with that. Nothing in between. So there's no junk food, but that's what I'm eating in a day. So that's still up in the 3,000, 3,500 calories. Okay. So we get to that point in a sort of a system. So now I've kind of gotten over the sugar part, and now we're in here. So now I keep weighing myself or measuring myself and going, things, wow, 109 still, yes, the chart's still not there. But hey, I'm better, man. It was this, now this. And I go, wow, let's keep going. Let's keep moving. So then the next big change on a dietary style, diet-only style, went to the, I was reading and researching. Ooh, who would have thought? Research stuff, learn. So then I learn and hear about the fasting, intermittent fasting thing. And I go, wow, that makes a lot of sense. It kind of seems logical. And I'm partway there already, right? You read up on it, and these guys talk about it quite a lot. And one of the guys was that Terry Crews dude. I quite liked him. And he raved about it. So I said, sounds like there's something in this. So let's read up on it. So I do lots of research on it. And so it sounds simple, but it's not. Which I prefer, actually, now. I prefer it to be hard. Because if it's hard, generally, most of you idiots ain't doing it. And I'm doing it. That means I prefer that. So anyway, so I then go to intermittent fasting modes, and there's several bits of research you do. And it's quite simple. You just eat the calories that you eat in a day instead of spread out over the day from morning to night. You have it all here at one part of the day. The logic sounds, without going into too much detail of it, it's quite logical. You end up having a similar amount of food intake. You can cut that back if you want, but if you only eat, so I evolved that too, right? So basically, you get rid of breakfast, get rid of and move lunch up until later in the day. So don't have breakfast. Don't have lunch. Just have one meal in the evening. Or you can call it one meal, but it's just in that period of time. So go to a time thing. One thing that triggered me was, how come we have the 3 meals? 5 meals, or people go to 6 meals. But the 3 meal thing, how did that evolve? There's no real scientific evidence. It wasn't for a scientific or a human need invention. It was just apparently from the royal family, English Empire thing, where you can, the servants could make their breakfast and make their lunch and eat in the afternoons. All right. So that worked out well. And if we look at the animal kingdom, animals don't eat 3 times a day. I mean, they eat when they need to eat. The guys in if we look at a lion, I think the lion ain't eating 3 times a day. He's scavenging around all day. When he finally eats, he eats a lot. Then he's scavenging around all day, every day. Not too many overweight lions around, I don't think. Or an overweight, the only overweight animals are your domestic animals, I suppose. The pigs and stuff. They wouldn't be as big as they are in the wild. They got their mass, and their mass produce. But anyway, so I changed that. So I go from 100, what did I say I was? I was up in the hundreds still, or maybe just under. And then I do that over 3 months. Whoa, I'm down to like 93, 94, like that. I went, wow, that's interesting. I like that. Took a bit of thing. It's still hard, it's still difficult now, right? And there's even bits of the intermittent fasting. So I've gone through sort of phases of it. There's ones where you might have your first bit of food. So how kind of, if you break it down, you go, if you look at it logically, if you don't eat, if you're eating all the time, why would the body use this bit of fat here, say? Why would it use that? The fat's here as an energy source for when you're in trouble or when you can't eat, right? So the logic would be, if I didn't eat at all and stopped eating and carried on and just kept not eating, this would eventually go into and be broken down into things. But but apparently it takes a bit more to break down that fat and use. So I'd rather use what's in your system already, if that's already sufficient, and then more gets pushed in. Why not? I just use that. And then what's left, if there's more than what was required to keep you moving, then sweet, we can turn that into some more fat for later. Or add, we can repair muscles and change your molecules and all that sort of stuff. So that makes sense. So if you don't add any food, what's the body going to do? Well, we don't have it now, so we'll have to take the fat. It has to take the fat. And you go, well, what about the muscle? Well, the muscle will do a little bit, but it knows the muscle's required, just like the lion. It doesn't burn its muscle because the muscle is required to get the food source. So the muscle generally would be the last thing it would use, because the muscle has the use is to get you that food. That makes sense, right? So if you never give your body the chance, why would it burn this problem crap if you keep putting in sugar or a food source or energy? If you keep adding an energy source in, why would I use this? Because if we're honest, it's the fat we want to get rid of, isn't it? Or reduce or move. I'm not sitting here going, oh yeah, man, I'd like to get rid of the muscle on my arms or the muscles down on my legs or something, am I? If you're right, the weight is related to the fat on your body, not anything else. So it makes sense that to reduce the fat, it's better to talk fat. Fat is what you're trying to reduce. If I keep putting food in, why would it use the fat if it takes more energy to break this fat down to use? I have to have a really good, otherwise I'm storing. So if you stop eating at a time, so let's say, for me at this point, if I stop eating at 8 o'clock at night, so you get 8 o'clock at night, then you don't eat, and then you wake up at, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, say. So 8 till 5, 8, 9, 10, and 12. So 9-ish hours already. So there's 9 hours that you ate whatever you ate. It's used that in your sleep, believe it or not. While you're sitting there doing nothing, it's keeping your body temperature up at whatever temperature you need to be. And it's replacing cells and using it efficiently. You get to 5 in the morning, you're awake, say. You get up, you get to 8 in the so if you go 8 in the morning, 8 to 8, that's 12 hours. So 12 hours and you've done nothing input wise. So it's 8 in the morning. Then if you keep going, 9, 10, so you got 12. Then if you get to like lunchtime, traditional lunchtime, we don't have it, 12, 8, you know, it's 12, it's 16 hours. Keep going. So you can get up to the 20 hours without eating, and then you eat in this 4-hour window, say. So from, say, 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, you eat what you would have eaten in the morning and in the earlier at 12. And then here, you just, instead of eating it then, you wait. It sounds easy, but it ain't. And you can have it here. If you had cereal, have cereal at 4. Have your, whatever you're having. Bit of chicken, bit of rice, some veggies, some fruit, some your protein shakes if you do, or whatever. Have it here. And then have your, what are you having for dinner? Have that amongst here. So you have it between here and here. Stop eating again. That's it. So between, so if that's your 4 hours where you eat, haven't eaten up to here, you get to about, according to the research, is that you get to about 12 hours in. Well, 12 hours will digest and use the energy that was used in here. You know, you got to be kind of clean in here. You know, I mean, if I was eating 3 packets of biscuits, 2 you know, and if I was stacking up on here and having 7,000 calories, right, well, that's going to be tricky. So with a, still have a deficit diet, how's that? So you still, if you say a couple of thousand calories within here, however, whatever way you get them, 2.5, 3,000, whichever. Come around here, if you do have the 2,500, supposedly by about 12 hours, that's used. So the rest of the time, because there's no, it's only water going in your body, right? You're allowed water. You have some pleasures in life. You drink water, man, you end up loving water, I'll tell you. So you have the water, goes through 12, and through this period, the body, what choice does the body have to keep you at the temperature you're at, you know, and to keep you moving? The energy source, where's the energy coming from? It's used the energy in your digestive system, it's used it through the walls and that, flowing into the blood. Wow, break off a bit of fat here, bit of fat here. Use it. You go into here, eat this, going to use that energy, use that, so it's going to stop breaking the fat down here. So once we start here, I ain't going to break this fat down anymore. Going to go back to that food you just threw in. If it happens to be a banana or some chicken or some rice or some whatever, that's now getting in and getting used. Burns that up. Sweet. That's what's going to use all the way to here. Get to here again, then go, oh fuck, that's gone. Apparently. Back to chopping out a bit of that. And so that's the theory. So I've been doing that. So that gets me down. So now I weigh myself. Yesterday I was 91 kilos. So that's been a 3-year journey to get from 122 to 91 think I was 89, 90, 91. You know, there's a couple of kilos in it. The lowest I've weighed myself on, I do it weekly or sporadically. I think the lowest I got was 89 something. So yeah, it's a true story. What does that add up to? 30 kilos. So 30 kilos. So now I do this. So I go 30 kilo reduction. So I was that. So now I'm that. 30 kilos is gone. Well, that ain't 30 kilos of muscle. I'll tell you that much. Even if I want to have an ego. So 99% of that is fat gone or reduced, or however way you want to look at it. And then, as I said earlier, I was very happy and I was fine with myself. Everything was not a problem. I've got plenty of videos of me doing all sorts of crap when I was 120 or 18s or whatever I was. Apparently just as happy with myself, apparently. And so now I sit here now and go, well, which one is it? Are you happier? Were you happy, or were you in denial, or were you lying to yourself? So all these mental games come in, right? And it's awesome. So I knew I must have had an awesome, almost delusional outlook on myself, which was able to keep me doing that. Because if I'd put on another 10 kilos, my mind would have worked through that too, wouldn't it? And says, hey man, I'm still the man. I'm bigger. Bigger's better. I'm better. I'm beautiful. It wasn't true. Because if it was true, then I'd be miserable right now. Or a lot more unhappy now, wouldn't I? No biscuits, no chips, no birthday cake. I went to my daughter's wedding. No wedding cake. Have some cake, have some thing. I don't eat that. Oh, but it's just the wedding. I know. It's just the wedding. That's right. It's the wedding. The wedding special. All right. I'm here, ain't I? I came. I talked. Thinged. So it's not easy, but it's definitely worth it, right? Because now the bank balance has done that, bought this house and all these sorts of things with it, cars and other bits and pieces. So that's that. Reduce the fat. It's hard to say sometimes. Got rid of a lot of the fat. Still got some fat on me, so I'm still working. Not there yet. It's hey, still got some money I'd like to increase onto. So that was those two things have turned into that. The job that I got increased on, that's increased because of this. What happens? Well, here's a real interesting side effect to not eating until 4. You go, well, what the hell are you going to do? You don't sleep, I'll tell you that much. The more you eat, the more you sleep. Interesting. So now I'm awake. I'm awake all freaking day, the whole time, from about 5 in the morning till, I go to bed about 9 or 10. I'm wired. I'm even vacuuming. I vacuum. I'm looking for other jobs. What else can I do? Wow. So I'm at work. I'm doing everything. I'm doing projects, project management, marketing. I'm into it. When I've done that before. So what happens? So there we go. What's happened to my salary? It goes every year. That's odd. Wow. Well, because I'm into it. Tasks. I said, yeah, it's Saturday, right? Saturday, 7 in the morning. I get up the same way. I would have gone to the gym, which I'm going to go do soon. I go to that, so I get up, I go to the gym, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to sit here. My work's pretty good, right? I'm a computer guy. So I do the computer stuff, projects, sort that out for a few hours. It's bloody 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, muck around, hang out with my family for a bit, see them do whatever they're doing, keep rolling on. And you go, oh, let's go and have lunch. Not me. I'm going, well, what's next? Oh, well, I might knock out a bit of that. I might go back to the gym again. I might play some sport or do some more of the jobs I've got, or clean up, or do some other tasks, because that's what I'm wired to do. Go see some friends, hang out with them. 4 o'clock comes along, sweet, eat my bits and pieces till 7, eat a bit, muck around, carry on doing the same tasks, because that's the mode you're in. Hardly eat much of that. Eat bits and pieces, muck around, research, learn some more things, bother people, upset them, have confrontational conversations. That's what I like to do. Then I go to bed. I sleep for 8-9 hours. I go out and I'm up. The perfect sleep. I love it. And I'm up and I do it again. And so I go, well, that's the system. So then I sit there with that. And I go, and because I'm in this mindset, it becomes a very positive mindset of what's next? What's next? My iPhone, remember? You're right. The iPhone, I got that. I'm going, what am I going to get next? I'm going to get some more screens or something. Get one of those. Or see my Galaxy in the background, right? Or more chairs. Or go into my office at work. Go, right, let's revamp this. Oh, what's your area? Let's revamp that area. It's beautiful, right? So now I just keep doing more of it. Because what else is there to do? But that. It's funny too, because people used to say, well, don't you have to have a life? Wow. It's like getting rid of that stuff has created the life. That other stuff wasn't even the same. So I guess you got to compare the two, So it is a struggle. And even right now, right, 3 years of no chocolate biscuits. I still go into the countdown or pack and save, right? And I can smell, I can visually think when I go past the biscuit aisles. I don't avoid them, right? I go, and there's biscuits in the cupboards and chips, because we get kids and stuff and whatever. I'm not going to sit here and just stop the world from being the world. I just exist within it, right? It's like smoking. You smoke. It's your thing, not mine. If you ask me about it, I'll give my opinion. But otherwise, it is what it is. So when I'm in the countdown, I still visually have it in my head. Get some biscuits, man. And you do this right, so you lose, when I say 30 kilos, lose 30 kilos. Even when I lost 5 or 10s, 20s, you lose some weight. Fuck. Hey man, have a packet of biscuits. You deserve it. Have a treat. You've earned it. And it's so gets powerful and strong some days, right? It's like right in there. I can imagine them. I say the same thing. Like, why don't I just get a couple of packets of those? I used to get. Don't go small. Get that. Get a box of donuts. Get a packet of biscuits and everything. Sit in the car. No one's around. It's just you and me. I mean, it's just the biscuits in there. Grab those. Eat them. Just eat them all. And then carry on. And there's only one thing that I've developed that stops me doing that bit. And it's back to what I think the truth is. And the truth to me is I will feel what I'm feeling now, or what I'm saying about the donuts and the biscuits and having them and having those. That whatever's going in my brain and creating this picture and this emotion, that will happen again tomorrow. It doesn't matter if I eat all that crap or not. If I eat it all, it's going to come back tomorrow, or 3 hours later, or 5 hours later. It's going to be there again. My brain is awesome at making that thing again. And then I will start doing it again. Whether it's once now and don't do it again till next Christmas. Have it on Christmas Day. Or have it on a Valentine's Day or some particular day. I say, right, I'll do it then. Just wait till then. Have it. It won't make any difference. It will always be there. So it's about dealing with that versus make it easier for myself. Oh, what? Make it easy for yourself. Just have a little bit. It doesn't make it any easier. I feel I'm going to sense the same. You know, it's the same. You got to deal with the actual problem. Those are just a symptom. It's in me. It's there. And understand it. Now that I understand it's there, here I go on. I've gone the reverse psychology of telling myself the odds are very, very high. If I eat the donuts and the biscuits right now, I'm going to think again by tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning or this, or fucking an hour after I've eaten those things. I'm going to think exactly what I think. And it's going to be so fresh in my mind. It's going to be worse, actually, because I've just had some an hour ago. I feel sick. Eat till I'm sick. Oh, right, it'll never happen again because I was sick. That ain't enough. Mate, I can eat myself sick. You get over the sick feeling, no problem. My brain's better than that. I get over that sickness, and then, it's like being drunk. Your hangovers, you get over that by a couple of days in, right? Drink is just as much. So, it's not rocket science, but it is it's a fascinating journey. I just love it, right? I love those types of debates. What I really enjoy now is that when I talk like this and have people around me who have the same way of thinking, is that I need that. I'm just going to have that cake. I'm going to have these biscuits. And I enjoy watching them have them because just carry on. And then what tends to happen is that I seem to look like some sort of judgmental prick. And I don't mean to be, but it's the way it comes across, because I've kind of developed this whole telling the truth to myself. I practice it by telling it to others. So I'm going to keep practicing. Because my opinion is, I'm still only here. Right? Self-improvement from here. I can self-improve in different ways. My ego can tell me that, no, you're awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I can tell myself that anyway. I can reverse that. and say you're not awesome. So get to work. So on that, it's a good point. I better go to the gym. What is it? 7. My iPhone's charged. My iWatch, my iPhone. But those are Jaybirds. Jaybird runs. They're cool. How long do I run for? An hour and a half. Hour and a half. It's another piece of it, right? Okay, I'll do this one bit last bit. That was the food bit. The food's in there. So on the same thing, we go to the exercise theory. So then if you move during that time, the more you move, the more fat that's likely to burn, right? That 4 hours that you consume, apparently 12 hours at resting. So you get up at 5 or get up when you want. You exercise. What's that going to do without the devil? That's going to expend more. So train, exercise, whatever, cardio, physical, whatever your poison is or your exercise that you like to do that. Do your heart reads and all that sort of stuff. Get it up to whatever. Do that for as long as whatever. That's going to have a nice effect. Then get to the afternoon. If you're more into it, train again. Or train longer here. Train somewhere in the day within that window. It's expelling. The body's got to go, holy hell. Now you're raising me. I've got to work harder. Perfect. Where am I going to get that energy source from? Oh, this bit of fat. Right? So then I go through the exercise system the same way. What exercise do I do? Before was lift weights, sit there, look at myself for a bit, lift some more. Well, that ain't working. The heart rate, as I say, is frickle, bugger all. You know, a little bit of, you know, you stretch your muscles and your arms and you feel tight stuff. Yeah, sweet. And you're out. Not good enough. Right. So I do research. Moving. Moving is better. All right. So what's moving? So then I latch on to running. Running. So this takes me on another journey, right? Running. I didn't like running. Don't like it. Well, as I said earlier, if you don't like something, but it's a good idea, what will it take to do it? It's going to be hard. It's hard. The reason I don't like running because it's hard. That's the truth, right? Get back to the truth. But it's a good idea. But I like it because it's hard. So if I can do this, I can run, and it's hard, I'm better. So I persist with running. And so I go down a running journey through this 3 years as well. And so I start out running. I used to run for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and think I was all done up at 120 kilos, I suppose. You would think you're the man running for 20 minutes. Anyway, I lose the weight. I start losing more weight, still only running 20 minutes. It doesn't make sense. So what is it? Is it physical or psychological? Yeah. So I start having these journeys through the running. Keep persisting with it. We're running treadmills. I run outside. Outside was a good one, right? Because what that did was running outside meant people were keeping me accountable, even whether they knew it or not. Because I'm not into going for a run. And it doesn't matter whether I'm big or not. That bit I didn't care about. It's about the walking versus running. If I'm walking and people will see me and tell me, that I couldn't handle. because I look at other people and they're going for a run and now they're walking. I'm like, what the hell? What's the point of that? I know. So every time I ran, I had to be running. I didn't want to be walking. So I started off, I ran from home and I ran to the gym, which is about 7 Ks, right? 7 Ks to the gym. I thought, fuck, I can do that, sure. I've been running the treadmill a little bit. I ran, and I ran, and I got to like, I would have gone at least 4 or 5 Ks towards the gym, and I stopped, and I started walking. I couldn't do it. I was breathing, all these excuses. It was just too far, and walked the rest of the way, and start jogging again and whatever. And then rang the wife from the gym, and she picked me up, take me up. And I found a way to feel good about that. I ran fine, that's all right. And then carried on with the weight loss, carried on, and then the running journey, I just carried on with it. And then as I managed to do the treadmill, I did it on the treadmill. I'd run for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and it's too much and pop off. I'd go, why? How come? Why is this happening? It's not that hard. You know, I was running like 10 Ks an hour, 20, 30 minutes, and I'm off. And make myself feel better when I hopped off, you know. And then one day I managed to run to the squash club, which is a similar distance. It's about 9 Ks. Right? Get to this point, I run to the squash club, and I've got it all planned. Right, I'm going to run, get on my gears, get on my things, and I've organised a wife to pick me up afterwards. Run to the gym, get there, and she can come pick me up later. So I do that. Run to the gym, get there, feel good about myself, go down, because there's showers and everything there. Shower. And she comes pick me up. And then I do that again another week later, right? I do it again, and I've got it all planned, and I get there, and I've finished the run. I've gotten to the thing, I go, why can't I just turn around and go home, run home? Why am I bringing you here for? I'm here. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I says to myself, why don't I just turn around and run as far as I can? Who cares if people see me walking? True. So I stood there for about 3 minutes. I said, that's true. That's true. I got my gear on my back, you know. So I looked, and I said, even if I get to the end of somewhere, who cares? No one cares. No one cares about you. I said, that's true. No one cares about me. So I did. I started running back home. And I got home. I wasn't fast or anything. I got home. I went, what the hell are you on about? That's it. So I ran home, and that changed everything. Right? That changed me from a 40-minute run to an hour and a half run all at once. I doubled it, like my salary, right? And me doubling it went, wow. So then I woke up the next day, didn't take anything with me. I went, right, I'm just taking my shoes and my bloody headphones, and I'm running. And I ran. And I ran. It was like bloody Forrest Gump. I ran. I ended up doing 20 Ks the following day. The following day. Went from, I think it was 12 Ks to 20 the following day. Might have been 18 and a half or something. The following day. And then another day later, I ended up doing 20. I thought, well, I must get 20. And I had to run down a few more streets than that. I get to 20. And so that changed all that too. So there you go. What a journey. So that's the combination of things go together. So I'm constantly on the lookout for the next piece. So as I said, it's Saturday. I need to go work.